Hello, I'm Roger from TwoSleevers.com, and today we're going to give you a little review and point out the features to you of this mixer sitting in front of me. It's a Nutrimill Artiste. It comes with a spatula, and it also comes with a set of measuring cups. They're actually kind of nice little measuring cups. They all nest together, kind of cute. Let me tell you right up front that Nutrimill sent us this mixer so that we would review it and tell you all about it. I'm sure they're hoping for a good review. That may or may not be the case because we do not give good reviews because people send us things. Normally we buy what we review. I'm going to give you an honest review of this mixer. The mixer is quite lightweight. You'll see behind me that there are two KitchenAids. The white one I've had for about 10 years. The little mini that is sitting there, we've had for about a year and a half. We got it right after they came out. They're great mixers. They have done what we wanted for years and years and years. They're a little hard to clean. They're a little messy when they get used, but they're still very nice mixers. We've always liked them. We have a lot of attachments for them. This little Nutrimill mixer, actually, there are probably as many attachments for this as there are for the KitchenAids. A lot of them are made by Bosch because Bosch makes a little bigger and a little more powerful mixer than this one. What is really nice about this mixer, what I really like about it, is that it weighs less than what that mini does. And it has a capacity of more than the big mixer. On the front we have a control here. It's got pulse to the one side and 1 through 6 on the other side. That's the only control there is for it. Probably the only one you need. This top has a little door here that comes open if I push it the right way. It opens right up and opens the whole front section of this. Now, one of the things I've always disliked about some of the older mixers were when you go to pour a cup of flour into them, you get flour everywhere. It's really hard to pour it in past the motor and the blades and everything. It's difficult. Now they made a little plastic thing that would help that, but it was still tough. This one, you dump it right in here. It's going to be a lot cleaner. Now when you take the top off, this just turns and then lifts off. If you turn it the right way, well, it turns clockwise. And then this cover comes right off. We'll set it over here out of the way. Okay, so inside it comes with a couple of whisks and a whisk holding attachment here that we'll get to a little later. Then it comes with this bread hook. Now the bread hook is very easy to remove. So are the whisks when they're put together. That's actually kind of a nice feature. Sometimes it was a little difficult to get things unlocked without making a mess. And then this bowl, we simply unlock. There we go. Okay, you turn it clockwise also, I'll have to remember that. And the bowl comes right off. You can disassemble it by removing this thing, take the shaft out. I believe that it says hand wash only. So I believe that would be what a person wanted to do, but I think it'll wash really easy. It's a very nice, slick, hard plastic. Now this mixer has 600 watts of power. It is that a lot? About 3/4 of a horsepower. That's a lot to, take 3/4 of a horsepower turning this. It's going to take a lot to drag that down. So I think it'll be plenty powerful. Now we have suction cups on the bottom of this, and I'll tell you what, everything I set it down on, it sticks to. Everything. Immediately. That's a good thing. So to get this up, I've found that if you lift up on the front and pop just those two, and then just tip it on up, then it'll come loose. Now when it's in this position, you'll notice that there are little feet down here, and that is to set this up on edge, because if you have other attachments like pasta makers, cheese graters, any of the attachments that they make, wheat mill I believe will go on this. then it attaches this way and runs out here to the side. So that's why this sets up on its edge. Okay, so they put this cord right under here on the back. Took me a few minutes to figure out how to get the cord out. You simply pick up on it like that, and then it pulls right out. Now, I've had it out and I put it back in, and putting it in is not as much fun as taking it out. Most of those aren't. If you really wanted to store it somewhere and have it have a small footprint, then yeah, you can take the cord and put it back in. If you don't care about that, then there's not much reason to put it back in. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and plug this in down here, and then it'll be ready to run. So we take the bowl and we put the bowl back on, and we'll just set it there and turn it till it falls, and then go counterclockwise, and you should hear it click. There. Don't grab the switch when you put it on, because it'll start the motor running. Okay, so the bowl's back on. Now let's put the bread hooks on. You'll notice that they just drop right on there, and they're in. Very simple. And then we put the lid back on. There is a nice little note on this that says, "Do not run without the lid on." And it's probably a good idea, especially if it's half full of powdered, flour or something, where it's going to. Okay, so now the lid's on. Now let's go ahead and turn it on and see what happens. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. That ought to mix some bread there. And then if we go the other way, it just pulses. So if you wanted to pulse something, there you go. Now, take the bread hook out. Comes right off there. I just love the way those go on and off. Okay, so these are the whisks, and they fit on this little shaft here, and they just push right on and pop down like that. Okay, and then they also just drop right on there, and it's all up. So you'll notice down inside there that these whisks come very close to the sidewalls, and they come very close to the bottom, and the bottom of this is curved up to the center. So these whisks have very nice contact with whatever you put in there. Some of the other mixers that I've used in the past are a little tough, especially if you only want to whip 1 or 2 egg whites. You put them in there, the tip of the whisk barely touches them, and then it'll sit there and eventually it'll whisk them and make them into peaked egg whites, but they're a little slow. This, I believe, will work much better. We'll try it here in a little bit. Okay, so let's put the lid back on so we can see what this looks like when it spins. There we go, counterclockwise, all locked on. Okay, let's just turn it up to 3. The one I really like is 6. So it makes these nice geometric looking things. Isn't that gorgeous? Anyway, so, and then again we have pulse. If you wanted to use a pulse for something. So now let's take this dough hook and we're going to put it in there. I love the way it goes in there so easily. There it is. Okay, counterclockwise. We open the door. Okay, now our door is open, and so now let's get some flour here. We're going to put 1 1/4 cups of flour in here, and we're going to use their cute new little measuring cups. Okay. Whoa. No mess. No mess is a good thing. And with other machines, by now I'd have had flour all over the counter, all over the machine, and all over me. Okay, so there's the 1 1/4 cups of flour. I'm going to put in 3/4 cup of water. Okay. We close the lid, and we're going to give this a short time. We're going to watch it here and see how it mixes. And we're just going to run it on low. Just let that mix for a little bit. Let's take the lid off. And pull the dough hook out. There's our dough. And I don't have any flour on my hands, so it's going to stick to my hands. Pretty well mixed up piece of dough there. Let me get it out here where you can see it. I think that did a pretty good job of mixing the dough. Here I have 4 egg whites. Pretty well close to room temperature. They might still be a little cold, but we're not going to worry about it. I have my machine. It's set up with the whisk in it. And we open the door. I love this door. Did I mention that earlier? This door is really nice. And I pour my egg whites in. Okay. Now we close the door and we turn it on. I'd have to take that back. This is pretty fast. See how they're doing. Oh, looky there. Those are nice. That is really nice. I think you could call that a peak. Now we have bread dough and we have egg whites, and I think it did an amazing job with both myself. That was nice. Now, granted, had we used one of the other mixers, we'd have gotten egg whites and we'd have gotten dough. And it would have actually worked quite well. Now, let's get to the nitty and the gritty. Do I like this machine? Honestly, I kind of love it. It's easy to clean, incredibly easy to clean. I've had to clean it 2 or 3 times now. It's got a big bowl. It obviously whips egg whites, so there's a whipped cream or anything else you want to put in there. The dough hook mixed really, really well and fast. So it's kind of like, what's not to like? It doesn't walk because of the suction cups. I don't really find anything I don't like about it. Now you can get a regular triangular or a set of triangular mixing blades like you find on the other mixers. There's 2 of them. They go on the same head unit. And so you can buy those, and I think I would. I don't really like using a whisk like to make cookie dough or pancakes or, you know, whatever. Am I going to get rid of what's behind me? No, because we're already quite invested in them. If I had to start over, and I think I'd have to pick this up. I hope this answered a lot of your questions. And come visit us at TwoSleevers.com or the Facebook page, TwoSleevers. Bye.